Now we are moving on at this point in time. The YSRTP president and former Andhra chief minister, YSR's daughter, YS Sharmila, has slammed KCR's daughter, K. Kavitha, over her demands for increase in women's representation. Now, as we know here, we should understand that she had, of course, written to multiple heads of all parties, in fact 47 parties across the country, asking them to support this particular bill. Now Sharmila called out the BRS party for having only 5% women candidates in the fray for the upcoming polls in Telangana, and also asked her to implement the quota in her party first, with a mere 6 candidates in 2014 and 4 women candidates in the 2018 assembly polls. Now the question that here Sharmila is asking is, why can't Kavitha go ahead and speak to her own father about it? Now, BRS leader Kavitha, of course, had earlier written letters, like I mentioned, to leaders of all political parties, urging them to support the bill aimed at providing 33% reservation to the women in the parliament and even in the state assemblies. Now, this is, of course, in the hopes of clearing the long contentious Women's Reservation Bill, which proposes 33% reservation for women. The bill, of course, was passed in March 2010 in the Rajya Sabha, but the Lok Sabha could not pass the bill, and it lapsed following its dissolution in 2014.
See, we have a brilliant opportunity in front of the country today. There has been a special session of the parliament called for various reasons. There are many speculations on what is going to be put up in this special parliamentary session. But for me and for the half population of this nation, in fact for the whole of the nation, the issue of women representation in parliament and assembly is of utmost importance. And with folded hands, I request all the political parties to kindly take up this issue and rise above the political partisanship.
Well, definitely this is an interesting statement that's come in, and more importantly, it's an important bill that she's seeking somewhere support for, but also a genuine question that's being asked right now by Sharmila, also by some of the BJP leaders, as to why are we not seeing this sort of implementation in Telangana itself. We're going to have my colleague Soumit as well join us in a short while, we've been told. We are also joined in by several guests who will, of course, be trying to decipher exactly how the way forward for Kavitha from here would be. We have Ravula Sridhar Reddy, senior leader from the BRS, with us. N. Ramesh, the YSRP leader, also is going to be joining us. He's, of course, a spokesperson here. And also Ishani Sharma, lawyer. Brinda Adige, women's rights activist, also will be with us in just a short while from now. Well, at this point in time, I believe we have Mr. Ramesh who's with us. Mr. Ramesh, if you could at this point tell us, this is a request that's come in for the reservation at the Lok Sabha. Do you feel that the issue should be really diluted by once again going back to the assembly in, Mr. KCR state, or do you feel that the main focus should be what happens there in the Lok Sabha?
See, good evening to all. It's very clear. Now coming to Kavitha as well as the KCR, they know only one thing, that is they know diversion politics. They want to do just diversion politics all over the state, and they want to take a new subject. We understand the Kavitha has lost the brand image, so she wants to create Ramesh, some brand image for herself.
I'll get to that. The simple question here is, do you think that this bill is important where you can move beyond politics? Because that was the call by Kavitha. Let's move beyond politics and come together.
See, what we say is, bill is important, but ultimately it has to be implemented in Telangana first. Why? Because Kavitha is a daughter of a CM, 2 terms, and they've done nothing for Telangana, and today they're doing a drama in Delhi. That is not important to us. What is important to us, that KCR formed a party in Telangana first. TRS is a Telangana-based party. Later on, they diversified into BRS, but ultimately today, they're playing a drama of diverting the politics. Why? Because in Telangana, they already lost. They mentally lost, physically lost, they lost everything. And ultimately, Kavitha today, they just want to create a brand image, and she going back and doing drama in Delhi. What we request is, we requested Kavitha Garu only one thing. That is, before doing anything at the Delhi level or national level, first question your dad. If you really you're a fighter, we appreciate you're a fighter in Telangana, you have done some fighting. Regarding that, please fight with your dad. Ask your dad first what you want, what is the stand. Then you go to Delhi. That's what our stand. And ultimately today, if you see, the
Okay,
KCR
Brinda, I
has
want to bring you
completely
in as well.
diluted.
How do you really view this? I'm sure you don't look at this too politically. Like we just had our good friend here say that, well, this is has to be looked at because from a political lens, because in the state of Telangana, it's not happening. So what moral right do they have to really seek for it in the Lok Sabha? How do you look at it, Brinda?
It has nothing to do with moral right just now, because we are looking at a bill which can be passed only by the two houses in the parliament. So while that question may be very valid, what she's asking is for all political parties to pass that bill, because we know that women's participation, decision making, redistribution of resources and political power is important today when we talk of India being Vishwaguru. So that question, that demand that she is making cannot be individualized and saying, ask in your state and then ask elsewhere. Unless there is a law, how do you expect any other political party to go forward? So what she's asking is very, very important, because this has been sitting for the last 20 years in the parliament. And this is for all political parties, not just her father's party or not just the state party where she is the minister from. It is for the two houses, all the political parties, to now understand that you cannot make excuses to give women their due. It's, after all, we are asking not a reservation of 50%, because we are 50% and more of the population, but 33%. And why is it that none of the men, none of the political parties are willing to pass this bill? That is the question. Make it the law.
Okay, Brinda, our eyes and
Brinda ji.
ears on the ground there in Telangana. Soumit is with us. Let me take a quick question to him and come back to the other guests as well. Soumit, what's the response from Kavitha? Because, you have here Sharmila going on to say that why not implement it in your state and then, probably preach or request the other political heads in the country?
Well, since the beginning, actually, Kavitha has even protested in the national capital at Jantar Mantar against the central government to take up this, 33% Women Reservation Bill. And later, lots of politics erupted even at that time, stating that why don't, the PRS party, the then TRS party, even didn't implement during the 2014 polls and also 18 elections, while even, announcing the candidates. And even now, Sharmila has questioned the Kavitha same that, while, the special session has been called from 18 to 22nd of this month, Kavitha has written to 47 political heads, and on the other hand, Sharmila has also received the letter from MLC Kavitha, and she has questioned in return to Kavitha that why can't why don't actually the government, why can't she explain it to convince it to her father CM KCR, and why can't they implement here in this in this state? And on the other hand, even opposition leaders have questioned the same, even Congress has questioned the same earlier. So basically, Kavitha remains same with the demand, and also BRS remains same with the demand. They are stating that even Chief Minister KCR has answered that question recently when announcing the list of 115 assembly candidates. So basically, they are standing with the with this demand.
Okay, right, Soumit. We'll take this question across to Ravula Sridhar Reddy. Is with us now, senior BRS leader. Mr. Reddy, now the pressure is back on to you, and the questions being asked. Why not do it in your state?
Who is asking? I don't know who she is.
Well, we have some BJP leaders. We also have Sharmila who's asked this question.
I don't know who she is. We don't recognize her as a leader or any activist of any political party. I don't know which party she belongs to and where she is now. Whether
the question, but there is a question to be answered here. Whether you acknowledge who she is, now if you want to take personal pot shots, probably this is not the stage here, Mr. Reddy.
Let me tell you.
Let's not get personal here about whether you consider her a leader or not. This is a genuine question. That if there is a Kavitha Reddy who comes out of Telangana and seeks for reservation, questioning why the state itself doesn't have reservation is a question that needs to be answered. There's no need to get personal here.
I am not going personal. First of all, Deepak, you need to understand. I don't have, being a responsible representative of a political party, I don't have to respond or answer to somebody who criticizes Kavitha ji for political mileage. So what is their motive behind it? Now we have been asking for this Women Reservation Bill. Kavitha ji did a protest in Delhi also. Many political parties have come and supported. Now that the special parliament session is called, we are demanding further discussion. What is the problem? Is she okay with it or not? Whether Congress party or any other, all other 47 political parties has to respond. I don't know which political party she belongs to. She also, her father was a chief minister. Now her brother is a chief minister. Okay. In their states, what is the situation? So we don't want to recognize her and we don't want to answer her question. The larger issue is whether all these political parties in the center who are representing in parliament are ready for this bill acceptance or not. Let that question comes, first. Let the political parties answer. We don't have to answer somebody's unnecessary questions and all that. We know what we are doing here. And
well, it is not.
somebody was saying
The point here, Mr. Sridhar Reddy, being that you probably think that here YS Sharmila wants to really take a pot shot at Kavitha. I agree with all of that. Let's keep the politics aside and just get to the simple question here. That whether is it something that at the assembly level that you're mulling?
Deepak, we don't want to respond on the people and parties which doesn't have any entity which are not matters to Telangana in our state, number one. Number two, this is a big issue. We don't want to go to personal, dialogue and, answer question and all that. It's a larger issue. Whether all these 47 political parties are going to come forward, supporting Kavithaji's demand or not, BRS demand or not. That's the question. Why don't you go behind it? Why are you unnecessarily taking up this issue?
So why shouldn't that same question be asked in your assembly is the question, Mr. Sridhar Reddy. How can you say that, I'm not going to answer this question or we should not respond to it while you're writing letters to 47 political parties and the heads and you're seeking their support. You're not willing to answer whether the state government is willing to adopt it.
As a responsible political party representative.
Well, this is a bizarre answer, Mr. Reddy. You can't say my choice. On one hand, you write a letter requesting people to join in. Now you say your choice.
Is a non-entity for our state. The larger issue, please understand.
Is she maybe a non-entity? I'm asking you. There are. Okay.
Not every question need to be answered.
Now let me tell you. Well, Mr. Reddy, you might be a very tall leader here. You might be a very tall leader in. Mr. Reddy, no doubt you might be a very tall leader, but it is a simple question that's being asked to you.
He can't say.
And can you answer the question, and keep aside the person, who has asked it and just answer the question.
I don't have to answer the question.
He doesn't have answer. He doesn't have answer.
Answer to us.
I don't know who this man is. Let me first tell you, Deepak, there should be a responsibility when you criticize a political party. We are asking for a legislation. You are asking for something else. Whether she is trying to join Congress party. Is Congress ready for it?
Okay, again, this is getting too personal and getting on to one individual here. I'll bring Ishani Sharma. Ishani, what do you make of this? Because legally, while of course we are looking at... Hold on, Mr. Reddy. If you don't want to answer questions when it's asked, let's have other people speak as well. Because I don't want you to take this platform to take personal pot shots at an individual if you don't want to answer a straightforward question. Please hold on. Ishani Sharma, I want you to come in. How do you really view this? Because it's an interesting debate. Well, we are not. I don't want to again ask you about the political side of it. I want you to bring to our viewers a picture of how does one really view it when yes, 47 parties have been written to. There is of course a need for reservation. It's been spoken about for several years now. It has not happened. It's an important aspect. But a genuine question is being raised. Why is it not being followed in Telangana where she is the daughter of the chief minister? Why is this issue not come up?
So again, keeping out the politics of it, the issue of reservation of women in politics can be traced back to the Indian national movement. There was a letter written in 1931 to the British Prime Minister, which talked about the same issue. Then the National Perspective Plan for Women came in 1988 as an adherence to which the 73rd, 74th Amendment to the Constitution got this 33% of reservation for women in the urban local bodies as well as the Panchayati Raj institutions. So this, as I was saying, that it's a very long-standing demand. Even if somebody is using the demand for political mileage today, I think it is a very, it's a brilliant act to do so. because we are dealing with 50% of the population and it is a legit demand. It should have been addressed till now. So if it is not addressed, so if the lady is intelligent enough to use it to political mileage, be it. So I think this way or that, it is high time that women get their due, they get the reservation, in parliament and state legislatures as well.
Right. Well, no doubt it's an important bill like we've been speaking about, but another moot question that comes up is how will it be implemented? Because Brinda, I'd want to bring you in here. It's interesting enough that people talk about women's reservation and how important it is. Knowing where you live here in the city of Bengaluru, I know that the corporator of your ward, in fact, is a woman, and she did get elected because there was a reservation there. But the irony is, you never see her in any of the events. It is the former corporator or a husband who's representing it. So is it just going to remain on paper? Implementing this reservation to the hilt is very important, isn't it? Because just for the sake of elections, having a woman there contest and at the background everything being operated by somebody else isn't going to really help.
You're absolutely right, Deepak. This has been an issue that even a problem in the Panchayati Raj institutions, in the Gram Panchayat Jilla as well as Taluk. But what we need to understand just now is there are institutional inequalities, institutional iniquities, and those have not been taken care of to date. So when you say that somebody has been elected from a reserved seat and it is a husband who is being seen over there, it is because the rest of the people who are there working with her are not extending the same respect and authority that she must be getting. She must get as a result of her position. So it becomes important that the husband tags along, or the husband is over there, or sometimes it is the father who is there. So the blame cannot be put on the woman who has stood for elections, contested elections, and won the elections, or lost for whatever that matter may be. But our institutions, our practices, everything, everybody around us are not giving the same importance that that position authorizes, that mandates. So we must place the blame on all of us, not just on the woman who has got elected. So it is not fair to place the blame on the woman. If you have 60% and more women, or for that matter, 30% and more women, probably this will change. Because then you have more women who are talking about issues that affect women, and all of these women are talking about themselves and what affects them and their families, their children, the environment, their own wards and constituencies. There might be that space for that woman to voice herself out. At this rate at which we are going just now, a majority are men. They look down. They do not award that respect. And so if she thinks that the work can be done when the husband comes over there, so be it. And that is why it is so important that the Women's Reservation Bill be passed. Those institutional inequities must be at least seen to be removed.
Okay, so we've established, and I think many here on the panel as well have agreed, and I think we viewers watching as well, that this is a bill that's absolutely essential to empower women in the country. Topic or a line that we've heard multiple times in the recent past politically as well. Let me in fact bring in once again Mr. Rahula Sridhar Reddy, also Mr. N. Ramesh. I will bring the opportunity right now to Mr. Ramesh, because there was a lot that was said about the YSRP by Mr. Reddy and about Sharmila herself. So I wanted to respond, and then I'll go back to Mr. Reddy.
Yeah, first of all, we like to respect the bill. We are expecting the bill to be supported. But what happened is, who is leading this drama today? The drama is leading by Kavitha. That's why we are in. Mr. Rahula Sridhar Reddy said that we will not answer.
If you're supporting the bill, then don't call it drama. If you're supporting the bill and you're calling it drama, then that's again irony, Mr. Ramesh.
Kavitha's drama. We are stick to it and we stand by it. And Kavitha is doing a drama. And why? Because we support the bill. Ultimately, Kavitha today last for 3 months where she is. And today,
supported drama if you're saying it is drama. What are you talking about?
This bill going to be passed. His father and daughter are the same strategies. They know the bill going to be passed.
Hold on, Mr. Reddy. Let him complete.
They don't take the credit. That's it. And second thing is, coming to Rahula State, they don't answer. That's what their attitude. They will not answer anybody in Telangana. They don't know how to answer and they can't face. And today, Sharmila, they will not answer because KCR fears YS Sharmila. Why? Because in last 2 years, we are on the field. No one is on the field. Just elections has come. Now all the people are coming for their own branding.
Well, the problem with politics here, Mr. Ramesh, everything becomes about credit. Ishani was just pointing out about how it doesn't matter who takes the credit as long as the bill actually materializes. But here we have, both of you all talking about credit, who's to blame and who's not to blame, missing the real crux of the issue overall.
The question is not the credit. You need to understand this.
The viewers watching would really, hear question whether is the BRS actually interested in this bill? Is the YSRP actually interested in this bill, or is it just politics that they're interested in? That's how your statements are really reflecting.
Our president itself is a woman, so we all respect this bill and we are with the bill. But because of Kavitha, she has stopped. She lost the brand image. So students take advantage of it. That's what the question we are talking about. We are completely with the bill, but
okay, let's bring in Mr. Sridhar Reddy. Mr. Sridhar Reddy, respond.
In Telangana, probably in the country, I don't know, we are the only government implementing 50% reservation to women in all urban local bodies, right from Panchayat President to a Jilla Parishad Chairman. Very sincerely it is being implemented, and you can see many women leaders from all sections today are leading from the front. Just now I heard, okay, the women representative will be there, but behind them there their husbands and all. You can see Telangana as an example. Many women leaders today, they have emerged as efficient administrators, leaders at every level. That is the sincerity. Number two, see, I don't want to answer YSRTP because they are saying they are supporting. I don't even want to answer because they are a no party. They are trying to merge their party in Congress and they don't even have a sarpanch. They are supporting, not supporting. Let me not get into that level. I am saying there is a sincere attempt by Kavitha that this women reservation bill must be passed. Women should get their due credit and their opportunity in the legislative bodies. Whether all these parties whom we have written the letters today will come forward to support it or not is the issue. Towards that, we all have to do efforts. We have Sharmila kind of people are trying to dilute the entire intention as a political gimmick by stating that as a political gimmick. It is not correct. That's what I meant to say. And
the point here, Mr. Sridhar Reddy. Mr. Sridhar Reddy, you did speak about reservation at various other levels, but the question that's coming up is assembly level. You don't want to answer Sharmila, that's fine. Mr. Kishan Reddy has also asked the same question. Now, Mr. Kishan Reddy has also asked the same question. All that I want to know is what is the stand of the party on this particular demand or on this particular aspect on reservation at the assembly level. What is the BRS's stand here?
I will ask Kishan Reddy whether his party is ready to bring in this bill or not. He's a union minister. Shame on him. Well, will he be ready to
Mr. Reddy, how hard is it for you to really answer this question? So, should I read between the lines here and assume that you don't want this implemented at the assembly level? Is that what it is?
Why will we ask for a legislation otherwise? Let the legislation come. Brindaji was saying the same.
So the question here is why wasn't this done up until now is the question that they're asking. So, is there a justifiable answer that you have?
I am saying very clearly. At ULB's level, we have done it. We are also a political party. We are fighting for a legislation. Let the legislation come. Definitely, we will implement. But the responsibility today lies on the union government. They are running government in 17 states or 16 states. Are they implementing the reservation in ULB's 50%? Are they doing it? Or today, can Kishan Reddy, Union Minister, President of BJP Telangana, say that I am going to give 33% seats to women there? See, questioning BRS, fine. You will question. We are a responsible political party. We are running government for the past 10 years. We will answer it. But this is targeting. We are addressing a much larger issue. Why are you narrowing it? Why are you narrowing it down to a political party's activity? So let's discuss at a higher level. Let us discuss at a broader level. Let all the political parties should support this now. There is a special parliament session. We want this session to be rather utilized for the betterment of people in all aspects. BJP must be using for their own political advantage. But today we have put forward a demand. Let all of us work towards it. Push the central government to take a stand on it. That is what the big issue now. That will help this country to implement this, bring in this reservation bill and give adequate opportunity to the women in the legislative bodies. That's the objective.
Okay, a quick word from Ishani Sharma as well. Ishani, you made a point earlier that it doesn't matter who really comes up with the idea and what's the ulterior motive. The idea itself is something that's sacrosanct, is something that you mentioned, and many of them agree with this. But you cannot keep politics away from all of these issues in the country. That's the irony here, isn't it?
Of course. I would want to raise a very humble suggestion to Mr. Reddy, saying that you cannot tell a political citizen, a female of your own state, that you will not address her demands. As a responsible political party, you have to respond to a question by any ordinary citizen of your state or your country. First thing. Secondly, I totally respect the fact that Kavitha ji has written to the states. Again, I would say that even if somebody is doing it with a motive that serves her longer purpose or her longer gain, she is intelligent enough to bring that up. She will get credit for it. It is credit where it's due. So she should ideally get credit for it. Thirdly, the issue that comes here was that the state legislature will also get this 33% reservation when the bill passes in the center. I think what Sharmila ji wanted to question about was the reservation inside the party and not in the legislature, because legislature ka reservation will be governed by the bill that is pending in the parliament, the 108th Amendment Bill. Constitutionally, the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies will both be addressed by this bill.
Right. Let me bring in Brinda as well. We are running short of time. So, Brinda, a quick point before we wrap up.
Yeah, I agree with Ishi, and it is important that only when political parties give the due to women, give them the ticket, because they always look at winnability. And if you look across India, where women have contested, they have won. They may not have the power of finance, but that's the political party's responsibility. So the 33% reservation within the political parties will pave way and strengthen the passing of the bill in the parliament, which is important, also again by the political parties. So I think this is a dual role and responsibility, and none of the parties sitting here can say that, it's she's trying to put her image in front and it is for her benefit. At the end of the day, she's asking a question and that requires to be answered. 33% within the political parties, and yes, pass the reservation bill in the parliament.
Well, I'm thanking all our guests. Let's hope, of course, as far as this bill itself is something that gets passed, let's empower our women well and truly. And quickly, Mr. Reddy and Mr. Ramesh, you've had ample opportunities to explain yourselves, your party stand, and like we mentioned, of course, the priority here should be the bill and not internal party issues, and let's keep it at that. With that, I want to thank all of you all. We'll come back to this issue, of course, because this is going to be taken up hopefully in the parliament, and once again, we'll be back with all of you all to discuss more about this. We have some breaking updates that's now coming in from Maharashtra. This is about the quota stir.